Here are my two audience members. No cards. Okay, so music has a way of connecting people in numerous different ways. Singing, dancing, yada yada yada. But we all listen to a song and we know when it sounds good, regardless of the language, because we all just start like dancing to it, grooving, and that's what South Korean boy band BTS does. They sing in only Korean, and they have brought people from all around the world together with their music. They have conquered the United States, the world, and they have conquered it with very little struggle. Obviously they've struggled with it, but they have managed to do so because they stay true to who they are, they're honest about who they are, and their connection with their fans, known as ARMYs, is rock solid. They first debuted in June 13th, 2013 with a small company called Big Hit Entertainment. Big Hit Entertainment is a small company. They didn't have as much resources as other companies, so BTS really didn't have that much opportunity to perform, be around their fans, but they took every single opportunity they could. And in 2014 they had the chance to come to the United States to film a little TV show series called American Hustle Life. And in American Hustle Life they would face challenges that would build their connection with the American culture and its youth, and it really began them chipping away at the Western music industry. And while they were filming that series, they would hold little surprise concerts and try to get people to come to their shows, and very rarely would they have 100 or 200 people show up. And in 2014 again, they would go to KCON, and at KCON they were the youngest group to be there, and they were just freshly starting out, and there was around 40,000 people there, and they were being exposed to the American population. In 2015 they had their first US tour, and they hit spots like LA, Chicago, New York, and Dallas, and that tour wasn't very successful. There wasn't very much media coverage on it. And in 2016 they returned to KCON. They had more achievements under their belt. They were slightly more famous, and during that year's KCON all shows were sold out, and they had over 70,000 people showing up, so they had a great deal of exposure. They had a great deal of exposure, and that exposure allowed them in 2017 to be nominated for the Billboard Music Awards, and they would win that year's awards, and again later in 2018 and 2019 they would win it again. And later in 2018 they would be allowed to attend the United Nations General Assembly. They would talk about their message and what they were all about, which is loving yourself and being true to yourself and true to who you are as a person, and to never forget the struggles that you go through because they're a part of you. And they were the first Korean group to be allowed to do so. And what they have achieved here is little to what they have managed to do back home in South Korea. Like the Grammys here, South Korea has a version called the Melon Music Awards, which is the most prestigious award show that there is in South Korea. And in 2019, the BTS managed to win all 4 Daesangs, and Daesangs are like top category awards: Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and Record of the Year. They took home all 4 awards in the same night, which is the first in Melon history. And BTS have a total of 23 daesangs, which is the most that anyone in South Korea has ever had. And BTS have had multiple albums hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 200. The first and most notable one is Love Yourself Answer, which was on the charts for 75 total weeks. And the second one would be Love Yourself Her at 44 weeks. BTS have also sold out multiple stadiums. The first US stadium to be sold out is Citi Field, which sold out in a little more than an hour, and it holds 42,000 people. And they sold out another stadium in London called Wembley Stadium, and that sold out in an hour and a half, and it had 90,000 people. They are very close with their fans via an app, Twitter, and at first they struggled to get 600 followers, and they were so ecstatic when they had 600 followers, and now they have 26.5 million followers, which is a lot of people. And they would post vlog style videos and just showing who they are. And they advocate a lot for mental health, which is a very important thing to speak about. And they have this app, South Koreans use this app called VLive, where they live stream, and they have a reality TV show on that called BTS Run, where they do like little performances, skits, they play games and entertain the viewers. And they're very close to their fans. They try to help as much as they can, and with the recent Black Lives Matter movement, they donated $1 million towards the movement, which is a lot of money, and they didn't have to do that, but they still want to use their position to help for good, which is part of the reason why they have become so successful. They stay true to who they are, and they use their positions of power for good, and they just want to be good people. Their position, their connection with ARMY, their fans called ARMY, it's just so rock solid that they love and appreciate them so much and give back whenever they can.